Lupin the third. I wonder what the next 3 words are gonna be. Oh no. Grown men are crying. Who is that? Who is it? Devilman! Shit! Hi guys and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we'll be checking out mystery retro anime openings. That is anime openings that came before the year 2000. I don't know anything that I'll be checking out today. Pinecino over here in the chat has compiled this list. He's assured me that they do follow some sort of theme loosely. He says that I might get it a little easier than the last one, but you know, we'll see. I'm really bad at picking out what these themes are going to be. There will be 15 of these total, so I might split this into 2 different videos. So if you only see about 6 or 7 openings in this video, that's why. The next video will be coming very soon. Pinecino has also assured me that there will be a bit of a history lesson with these openings. He'll be sharing with me information about, you know, some of these openings, I guess, and you know, I'll be learning a lot, so that'll be fun. If you guys enjoy, please leave a like, please subscribe if you haven't already, and comment letting me know what you'd like to see next from the retro mystery playlist. I am also taking some requests for Halloween kind of themed content on the channel. Right now I'm trying to compile a short list of maybe an anime series and an anime movie that I could check out that are kind of like horror related, or you know, they're kind of Halloween themed, I guess. So you know, that's going to be a lot of fun, so just let me know any recommendations, and right now I'm just ready to jump into this video. The retro openings last time were a lot of fun, so I'm pretty intrigued as to what we're going to see today. As Ashita no Joe, it's going to be sports. It's all sports. That's a guess. Okay. Sounds very like West, like spaghetti westerny almost. The face of the man I hate. I do like boxing, so I might like this anime, honestly. This is very dramatic. I really like this. Down for the count. Get up. Oh no. Grown men are crying. This is very different from what I would have expected for this opening. Oh shit, he had his back to him? That's not allowed in boxing. Oh shit. I like the kind of freeze frame just then. So that was Ashita no Joe, I believe, opening number 1. This is Tomorrow's Joe, Ashita no Joe, animated in 1970 by Mushi Production, founded by Osamu Tezuka, and pioneered TV anime, namely Astro Boy. Oh shit, okay. In 1963, directed by Osamu Dezaki, who did Cobra, and more to come. Okay. And based on the manga by Tetsuya Chiba and Iki Kajiwara that ran in Weekly Shonen Magazine. Oh, okay. I really like the kind of, it looked almost like an oil pastel drawing, I guess, like throughout this entire opening. Like it kind of had that look where it was kind of pastel. I don't know how to explain it better, but you know, even this frame right now, it kind of has that look to it. I think that it looks very unique, and I really do love that style. Troubled youth Joe Yabuki drifts into the Tokyo slum of Sanya, where his penchant for violence is witnessed by washed-up boxing coach Danpei Tangi. Despite Danpei's attempts to inspire the desire for something greater, Joe is justifiably arrested and sent to juvie prison. There he encounters former prodigy Toru Rikishi, whose refined style proves virtually insurmountable for Joe's savage brawling. Eventually, after a shocking bout that leaves both young men on the ground, Joe and Rikishi vow to fight once more on the outside as professional boxers. Joe reconnects with Danpei as his coach and believes he has finally found a reason to live through boxing, with all the pain and tragedy such a life can entail. Yeah, I never would have thought that's kind of like the premise of the show. I'm not really familiar with it, obviously, but I thought it was kind of just like this kid who maybe wasn't really good at anything and discovered boxing. Like that's kind of what I would have assumed this anime would have been about. But I do really like the idea that he's just some sort of delinquent, troubled youth who just discovers that he can probably, like, the thing with boxing is, I did boxing when I was younger. Like, I wasn't very good at it, but I did go, and it was very fun. But a lot of the people there in the boxing club were people who maybe had no other way to get out this kind of like pent up frustration and stuff like that. Like, there were a lot of people there that, you know, were kind of seen as people who would have been very kind of tough and socially outcast, I guess. So I think that, you know, like, boxing is great for that, for like people who maybe need like something that can kind of match their feelings, how they're feeling inside, because it can, like, boxing can be very brutal, but it can also be very beautiful. There's a lot of brutality, but there's a lot of beauty in boxing. Like, there's a lot of technique involved, there's a lot of planning, and, you know, you need to be very aware. You need to be watching your opponent, and you need to be like prepared to get hit. So it's definitely not for everyone, but I do genuinely think that boxing can be a great way for people to let out that pent up frustration, that rage, that like, if you've had a bad day at work, if you've just had a bad day in general, like, it can be perfect for you. The whole presentation of this opening itself, you know, it showed Joe kind of like being, you know, it starts off with him, he, like, this look right here, he doesn't look happy. He looks pretty sad and worn out. Like, that's the look he has here. And, you know, zooming in on his eye, it's kind of like an intro, like an entry into his mind, I guess. And then we see him presumably training. He's running by himself against like a beautiful backdrop. And then it's just straight into the brutality of boxing. You know, there's blood flying, there's people getting knocked down. The use of color is so fun. Like, I love that it's very cool, like toned out colors while they're boxing, you know, and we're seeing him get hit. But then as soon as we see him start to get up, like the ref is, you know, counting, and he's starting to get up, you know, we see warmer colors, and we see who I assume is his coach starting to cry. So it's very beautiful opening, despite the fact that it doesn't actually show a whole lot. The way that it does show what it does show is very well done. I think that it's very much telling you a story without you realizing you're learning a story. So that's it's really well done, and I think that the people who did this were like honestly cooking something, despite the fact it's not, like I said, it's not showing a lot, and the song is very spaghetti westerny. I don't know how to describe it better, but, you know, it's also pretty triumphant, because, you know, we get those highs where the instrumentation kind of picks up like its pace, the singers, you know, hitting notes and like holding them, as, you know, Joe's climbing onto the ropes and standing up. So, you know, as a whole package, it's very well done. And again, I love this kind of like pastel like look to the drawings, and how the characters look, and the way that it's drawn. It looks very cool. I think that Ashita no Joe would definitely be an anime I think that I would really enjoy, because, like I said, like, I do enjoy boxing, and I love kind of like stories of these underdogs growing up and becoming someone greater than what, you know, their potential might have been before, you know, what society might have expected of them. So I think that telling a story through a character like this, and, you know, showcasing that through like them coming up through poverty and this underclass kind of vibe, is definitely one that a lot of people would obviously flock behind. I think that it would be a very interesting one to watch. That would be kind of like an insight into like what times might have been like back then, especially in Japan, because obviously I wasn't around then, so I don't know what times were really like. I haven't really checked out a lot of Japanese media from like the 70s and stuff, so I don't honestly know what society would have been like back then. The series gets brutal. There's a reason it's resonated with so many. Yeah, I can't imagine, honestly, because like the opening itself didn't really showcase the brutality. But yeah, I think that any series that tackles boxing is definitely going to have a lot of brutality. So now that we've finished opening number 1, I think it's time to check out number 2. So what do we have in store? I wonder if we'll recognize it. That's a bullet. Oh my god, that is loud. Lupin. I am gonna turn this down a little. That's very loud. Lupin the Third. Holy shit. I didn't know this had an anime series. I thought it was just like movies. Guess it makes sense, right? Any other words? Lupin the Third. I wonder what the next 3 words are gonna be. Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third. Lupin, 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 Lupin. The writer for this song was definitely onto something. Oh shit, Dabadoo. Lupin the Third. Yep. I love the framing for this this opening. It's very unique. Oh no, he's been seen. Lupin the Third. So the lyrics are very critical in this one. Yeah, I could tell. I don't think I would have recognized what this anime was without those lyrics. This is Lupin the Third, retroactively referred to as Lupin Part 1. Animated in 1971 by Tokyo Movie, eventually TMS would oversee Lupin for decades to come. Initially directed by Masami Osumi and based on the manga by Monkey Punch, which ran in Seinen magazine Manga Action. Well, first of all, the framing, the animation, and the color in this anime opening were so unique. I love the it took a while to get into anything. You know, the first 10 seconds were, you know, kind of showing the logo. Actually, maybe the first 15 seconds almost, and then it's very loud, so it kind of caught me off guard. I had to like lower the volume. The characters look very fun. I love the designs. They're very, you know, unique, silly looking. Obviously, you know, I was talking about like almost country western, like spaghetti western themed from the first opening, but then we straight up see someone kind of with that kind of gimmick and style in this opening, which was fun. Arson, how do you pronounce it? Is it Arson? Lupin III is a high-profile burglar of infamous thievery lineage, a boogeyman for the rich. He is aided in his endless plots by ever-reliable gunman Daisuke Jigen, wandering samurai Gomon Ishikawa, on and off rival/lover Fujiko Mine, and consistently hounded by Inspector Zenigata. This very much screamed morning cartoon, like what hijinks is our character going to be getting up to this time? That's honestly like the vibe that I'm getting from this, which I think is a lot of fun. The series is one of the first TV anime to aim for a more adult audience. Really? That's crazy, because this very much felt like a wake up and turn the TV on and see what kind of silly, crazy hijinks our character's going to be getting up to. But you know, if it's aimed towards adult audiences, that's crazy, and that's I think that's really cool. The source material itself from Monkey Punch being fairly risque. The initial episodes attempted to reflect this hard tone, but were met with poor rating shit, prompting original director Osumi to be fired after he refused to broaden the appeal. Shit. Animation director Yasuo Otsuka put his disciples Isao Takahata and Hayao Miyazaki to the task, who were determined to remove what they saw as the moral nature of the show and make the cast come off more good-natured and comedic. This iteration of the series would prove more successful and influence future iterations. Oh, so the anime itself that most people know, and then the movies and like everything that comes after this, they're not really kind of reflective of what maybe happens in the manga itself. I was not aware. I thought kind of like the manga and every iteration were kind of just like almost one-to-one, you know, with what the manga had, and you know, obviously the characters and the world itself were very much exactly what were in the manga, so that's really surprising to me. I did know that Miyazaki, you know, was he the director for what is it, kind of Castly, I don't know how to pronounce it. You know what I'm trying to say. The movie that he produced before I think he went on then to do Nausicaa. So like it was way darker for like the first dozen episodes, and it got a bit more goofy. Oh, okay, so like Lupin's initially cold-blooded, then under Miyazaki he became like Robin Hood. See, that's honestly the vibe and what I interpreted Lupin always was. So I guess I was influenced what I thought of him by what I knew under Miyazaki's kind of thumb, like what he did to Lupin. Back to the opening as well. The song, very fun. I know that I was joking about it being, you know, very silly, that it's kind of just saying Lupin the Third over and over and over again. But it's definitely very fitting for a theme song, especially in this decade, like this era, you know, like think of other cartoons like that, you know, you grew up watching, like Top Cat, you know, it's just Top Cat. Like, you know, it's very much like every character, the main character had like their theme song, and this definitely felt like it, and it felt very fitting for what I thought the series was about, you know, like this just silly guy. And the animation and what I saw in the opening as well also kind of gave off that impression that he's just this like silly guy who does his like silly things. But now I guess like looking at it, yeah, he's kind of like there's a lot of blowing up, there's guns and shit being shot, like people are being killed. So I guess, yeah, I can see where the maybe grittiness was initially that, you know, people weren't fond of, and why it was not exactly favored at the time. But I think that as a viewer of this opening, I think that the way that it's done is very, very like rule of cool, and very like I love this shot specifically of him running. Like let me turn the volume down just so I can play it. Never mind, that did not mute it. Like just the way he's running, it's just so silly looking. You know, he's constantly under a spotlight. You know, kind of, I guess, ironic because, you know, he's a thief. They're looking out, like they're looking for him, but also this is a series named after him, so, you know, him constantly being under the spotlight is both fitting for like those two things. Anytime an anime wants to do a Lupin parody, they do that shot. Oh, funny enough, okay, that's funny. It is a very, very cool run, and it's very stylish, it's very cool, and I do think it's badass. And also, you know, the constantly changing color, it's just fun because like it's kind of I guess you could say it's showcasing how he's kind of like, if he's a thief, he probably plays these different personas as he's trying to you know, get close to people maybe, and, you know, charm them. He's kind of showcasing himself as different people, so, you know, maybe the colors kind of reflect how he changes what he needs to be or who he is to reflect what he is trying to achieve, I guess. I think these are both 70s anime, so the theme might be 70s, we'll see. But I think both this opening and the one before for Ashita no Joe, they're definitely very well done theme songs for the characters. Like Ashita no Joe, you know, he's kind of like this this guy who goes through a lot, you know, experiences a lot with poverty and what he's going through exactly, and working his way up to, you know, being essentially what I assume is a delinquent, going to juvie and then coming out and finding purpose. The theme song that he had was very much reflective of that, where it was slow and it wasn't like getting you hyped and, you know, pumped like this one does. They're both definitely tackling different ways of showcasing what their characters, that the theme songs essentially are and what they're about. I think that they've both done it very well, despite them doing them in very different ways. Also, you know, just having like these really old school like anime openings, they're so fun to check out. You know, like the music is obviously very dated, but it's so fun. Like it's really fun to check out. The animation also looks pretty dated, but it's also very fun. Even like shots like these, where, you know, it cuts away from right here. You know, we see you know, classic animation, guy standing against a wall, there's shadows and, you know, the spotlight, but then you go back and, you know, the spotlight is actually like real scratchy, and it's like drawn in a very unique way, and it's very very scribbly looking, and I think it adds a lot of personality, and kind of reflects what the show is probably about, where it's just like a, you know, obviously after the first dozen episodes, you know, it's just about like this silly character. I did love the vibe of this opening. I love the kind of way that it showcased how the characters act. You know, we got to see Lupin, who looked very silly and goofy, like the way he's just constantly running away with a smirk and a smile on his face. What is the name of the song in the Lupin opening? Oh, so true. What is the name of the song? How am I going to know, Pinecino? The song is simply titled Lupin the Third theme song by Charlie Kosei. Lupin the Third. That's going to be in my head. That's going to be in my head all day, and it's I'm not upset about it, honestly. The guy who, you know, shoots his gun, you know, we kind of get the feeling that he's a kind of hard-ass character. At least that's how it appeared anyway. The love interest, I guess, who was on the motorbike, she looks like she takes no shit. She looks like, you know, she's there to get things done, and she's gonna do it. So that's kind of like what I'm learning from those characters, and I did really enjoy my time with this opening. So if we're ready, why don't we check out opening number 3 for this video, which will be who is that? Who is it? Devilman. Shit. Devilman. This man took on the name Traitor. Shit. I'm gonna turn this up. Sorry, I'm pausing just to turn it up a little bit because it's a little quiet. The look of this is so cool. Like, I know that this is like really old school. Like, I think the manga was drawn in the 60s, maybe? See, who fights for justice? Oh, he fights for justice? I did not know that. I thought Devilman was a bad guy, I'm not gonna lie. Shows you how much I know about this series. Oh shit, learned of human love. He just turns into Devilman. Devil Chop. Extreme power. He looks very Chernobog-y, I guess, like that design. I don't know which came first. I'd imagine this came before, well, actually I don't know. But the design looks like Chernobog from Fantasia to me. Devilman. Look at those horns. Yeah, he looks like a bad guy. I did not think Devilman was a good guy, or like fighting for justice, I guess. Oh, Chernobog does predate. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of the character design kind of reminds me of Chernobog. I'm not saying they copied, I'm just saying that's what it reminds me of. This Devilman, animated in 1972 by Toei Animation. These guys are back. Holy shit. These guys were animating in 1972 and created by the great Go Nagai. Writing the original scenario for the anime and producing a manga version for Weekly Shonen Jump at the same time. Okay. I don't know why I thought Devilman began in the 60s like the manga. Akira Fudo dies on a mountain climbing expedition. Jeez, I would never have known that. That's crazy. With his father to the Himalayas, his body then possessed by the titular Devilman, whose intent is to pave the way on Earth for a demonic invasion. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was just Devilman being a bad guy. Devilman immediately abandons this mission upon meeting Akira's childhood friend Miki Makimura and resolves to fight for humanity instead. Shit, okay. I'm aware that the English dub for the original Devilman anime is very kind of memed upon, and like it's seen as very funny and very silly, I guess. Like people joke about the Devilman English dub. At least I've seen people joke about it anyway. I don't know to the extent of how bad it actually is, or how like over the top or how dramatic, you know, whatever. The song's Devilman no Uta, Devilman Song by Keizou Toda. It would receive an all-time banger update in 2018 from Kensuke Ushio at this very moment, who is doing Dan Dan, and they previously worked on Chainsaw Man, shit, A Silent Voice, Ping Pong, and of course Crybaby. and Avi-chan, who did Undead Unlock opening 1. More to come in the modern playlists. Shit, okay. It feels like, you know, that's 3 70s in a row. We're staying in the 70s. But also, like, I am aware that every single anime that we've checked out here today so far, anime opening, are very influential. I know Ashita no Joe, I know Lupin the Third, and I know Devilman are all very influential for, like, future series, especially in their kind of realms. Like Ashita no Joe, you know, it went on to revolutionize, I guess, sports anime. Lupin the Third, you know, obviously introduced Miyazaki, who's gone on to create so many iconic works, you know, Studio Ghibli. You know, he's done so much for anime and the medium as a whole. And then, you know, Devilman. I know that Devilman, like, without Devilman, you would never have got so many other series. Like, take Berserk, for example. Take, you know, Chainsaw Man, which was mentioned. You know, there's just so many series that I know Devilman itself has also influenced. That dub is for one of the OVAs. Oh, okay. I would not have known that. I thought it was the original anime. I do know that I should really check out Devilman at some point. I love kind of like the way the old school anime looks, you know, where it's got that very Astro Boy look to it. I don't know how to describe that kind of character design, but you know, it has that kind of look to it. I know that that's how the original manga looks as well. You know, it kind of looks like Dororo and Astro Boy, like that kind of look. I think that it's very unique, and it's definitely obviously a style that's been lost through time. You know, obviously, you know, you go to different decades and you can see the style, like you can see the way the animation style, the character designs, everything is just completely changed. Like, even look at the 90s, the way character designs looked in the 90s. Neon Genesis Evangelion, Berserk, even like the original Pokemon anime, like look at how they look. And then look at something that came in the 2000s. Yeah, like, you know, like old school One Piece to Wano, you know, the way that those designs have changed over time. And I think that it's very fun to look back at different decades and kind of pinpoint, like, oh, this is probably from the 70s. Oh, this is probably from the 80s. This might be from the 90s. You know, it's kind of like a fun thing to do based on like how characters themselves are designed, rather than, you know, having the knowledge of when a series was released. Devilman, it does look like a very, you know, fun one to check out. Like, I know like, this might be unfair to mention it because, like, you know, I did mention at the start of this video that I'm taking requests for, you know, anime that I could check out potentially for like this kind of Halloween season. And I know that Devilman is definitely one that would fit that theme. Maybe Devilman Crybaby is more fitting for that kind of theme. But you know, it's also an option, you know, Devilman, because I've never seen it before. These are all theme songs so far, you know, like this is literally titled Devilman's song, right? The song is Tomorrow's Joe. Yeah, the songs, they're all theme songs for the anime themselves, so that could also be the theme. Devilman, obviously it's a series that has influenced so many in future. I love the designs. I love this kind of like really serious look compared to, you know, If I Can Catch Him Before He Transitions. Like, this design in anime looks pretty like Ashita no Joe, I guess, like the same kind of hair curls, like, not to be like same face, but, you know, kind of similar facial design. Devilman having all these abilities looks so much fun. I think that it would be a very, very fun one to see. The origin and subsequent tone for the manga diverged dramatically from the anime, the latter Devilman coming off as more of a superhero to fit for a Monster of the Week format. Ah, okay. Now guys, editor advised him to take the manga version in an alternate direction, and that he did. The Devilman would be the version that served as a major inspiration for later works like Berserk and Evangelion. Ah, okay. The manga received its adaptations via late 80s OVAs and the critically acclaimed Devilman Crybaby in 2018. Yeah, I guess maybe then, like, checking out an OVA or two instead of like the anime series would maybe be a good Halloween theme series. I wasn't aware that the adaptation for the anime was vastly different from the manga, so I think that's very fun. I think that also, you know, having the manga and anime be kind of released simultaneously is very like a very fun idea for, you know, people who are enjoying the series. They can get two different versions and more of Devilman, like, bang for their buck. On one hand, they're getting a Monster of the Week style anime, but on the other, they're getting this probably dark and serious and maybe gritty series of Devilman that otherwise never would have been adapted, because it's maybe a little too serious for TV. Like, take a look at Lupin the Third. They had to switch up what they were doing because fans were not favoring it. People watching it were not favoring it because of how serious, dark, gritty it was. The whole idea of having Devilman be this character who's, you know, evil, and that's what I always assumed. I thought his name's Devilman, he's a bad guy. I thought it was maybe like the case that Devilman would be this kind of villainous, serious guy who wants to, like you mentioned in the blurb, take over the world essentially, and it's being done through this guy, this poor little child. So the Devilman theme song obviously was very fun. Let me hear it again a little bit. You know, it kind of has that same sound as, you know, if I'm to compare it maybe to another opening I've checked out, like kind of like Space Cobra's opening, maybe like that kind of similar sound, where it's obviously like a theme song for a character, and I think that it's so well done. The character designs are so sick. I do love it so much. The framing showcasing Akira, you know, transitioning from himself into Devilman, and the way it's so seamlessly done is really cool. Because like you can see him, it's kind of like I can't think of a series off the top of my head, but you know, like when you're watching like an old series and they're turning from like normal guy into like this kind of other look, and it kind of fades in and out like both appearances until they eventually turn into like a solid version of the second appearance. It's kind of like what it reminds me of, and it's really cool. The lyrics as well, you know, talking about just pure like badass devil shit. Like, he's got the power of the devil, he uses a devil chop, he's got X-ray vision because of his devil eyes. It's so fun. The Chernobog appearance also is badass. You know, it's also reminding me of what's that one Pokemon called, like the wings? Is it, obviously, you know, this came before Pokemon, but is it Salamence? Is that the name of the Pokemon that has like the kind of curved red wings? And, you know, I think Salamence also kind of has that like grayish blue like tone, like skin color. So, you know, maybe that Pokemon was very, very heavily inspired by the appearance of Devilman. I think that's really cool. Like, this is just straight up Salamence right here, right? But yeah, so badass. I do think that Devilman is obviously a series I should at some point check out, because it's gone on to influence so many works that I know and love. Like, Berserk is one of my favorite series of all time, and without Devilman there's no Berserk. Like, that's just a given, right? So I definitely really should check this out at some point. The OVAs do sound very, very interesting to me. I would love to check out those OVAs, because you know, that's the true vision of the manga author right there. If we're ready, I think we will check out opening number 4. Loud noise again, holy shit. Oh shit. It's a mecha. I don't recognize which mecha though. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mazinger? Z? Super. The designs for like the villains are very like Godzilla villain-esque almost. I don't know how to describe that. Rocket the punch. That's cool. Breast fire. Mazinger. Zed! Oh shit, that ended really quick. I was really into that. That was a lot shorter than I was expecting it to be. I was getting really into it towards, well, not just towards the end, but, you know, towards the end, you know, it's getting very, very hype and very, you know, hell yeah. And then all of a sudden it's just over. This is Mazinger Z, animated in 1973 by Toei Animation. Devilman, and created once again by the guy. Really? Shit, I would never have known that. Alongside a manga adaptation that ran in Weekly Shonen Jump. A lot of these are shorter than usual. Yeah, I'm very used to the 90-second format for openings, so I'm just kind of like sitting there like expecting another 30 seconds, and then it's over, and it's like, holy shit, what? But I guess that was maybe the way of things back in the day. The appropriately named Dr. Hell has created an army of mechanical monsters primed to be unleashed on the world under the command of his loyal lieutenant Baron Ashura. Koji Kabito vows to avenge his grandfather, murdered by none other than Dr. Hell, by thwarting the madman's ambitions with a mighty giant robot, Mazinger Z, or Z. I don't know how to pronounce that. The song is simply titled Mazinger Z by Ichiro Mizuki. The design, when it comes to mecha, Mazinger Z, okay, because it definitely sounded like he was saying Z in the song. Like, let me go back here. It's Z, canon. It's Z. It's Z 100%. Canon is Z. that's. I'm calling it Z. That's confirmed. Yeah, I'm obviously not familiar with the history of mecha anime or like manga, but is this kind of like one of the first mecha series? Did Gundam come first? Did Voltron come first? Did Transformers come first? Like, I'm not exactly familiar. Oh, you got me covered, yeah. Well, I'm just spitballing. Mazinger Z made its comeback in the evolving mecha genre by being the first to depict a mecha piloted within the robot itself. Oh, okay. Previously, remote control was the way to go. It also stood out by bringing the tone of the guy, a frequent enemy of Japanese parents at the time, to the largely family-friendly genre of mecha. While still ostensibly aimed at children, humans would get violently murdered, and Mazinger's robot enemies savagely ripped apart limb from mechanical limb. I did see a lot of mechanical limbs being ripped off here. I think that, you know, seeing that Nagai kind of paved the way for darker stories being told, I think that's like insane that this one guy is kind of like the reason we have so many series that we know and love today. Like, without this guy, we wouldn't have, obviously because of the darkness of Devilman, Berserk, and humans piloting mecha. You know, you've got Gundam, you've got Evangelion, you've got so many other series that I was not personally aware that this was kind of like the inception, I guess, or like the beginning and the originator for all of this. Mazinger Z was also just hugely popular in his time, earning some of the highest ratings anime has ever had, ushering in a boom of mecha for the rest of the decade. It's another that also achieved massive popularity abroad. From what I know off the top of my head, Italy, Spain, the Philippines, and Mexico, to name a few. Guillermo del Toro cited it as his childhood show that would inspire the creation of Pacific Rim many years later. Yeah, that makes sense. I know that Guillermo del Toro is you know, someone who comes out and talks about anime, you know, like being something that influenced him during his youth a lot, but that makes sense then that, you know, he was a fan of Mazinger Z, and then he went on to create Pacific Rim, which is obviously it could never have existed without the ideas brought forward with this show. Mecha started like a decade earlier, but Mazinger was what essentially made it the genre for anime in the 70s. Yeah, that makes sense, and I think that, you know, it's a lot of fun to learn these things, and I think that you can definitely see the influence here. I mentioned earlier that some of the creature designs and like enemy designs in this also kind of remind me of like Godzilla enemy monster designs. Like I saw like 3-headed creature, you know, that reminded me of like King Ghidorah, had that samey like vibe and same feeling. And I think that it's really fun to see how kind of the times designs were all like used. You can see it throughout stuff that was being made at that time. This was essentially an attempt to bring kaiju into mecha to make it stand out. Yeah, that it's definitely very fun. I think that concept of humans piloting mecha, to me, is obviously something that I'm like, yeah, duh. But the fact that it hadn't really been done before this, it's kind of like insane to me. Like, they were remote controlled up until now. And I think that that's so strange to me. Like, it's not something that I can picture. You know, just some guy like with a little remote control, just like pushing the little sticks forward, pushing his little buttons. The design for the robot as well, Mazinger, is very, you picture like an old school action figure, like mecha action figure, and this is legitimately like what I would picture. The way the colors are done, you know, you've got different colors, and each section is like a different color. You've got like a cool badass design in the head, like the spikes, the kind of half crown that comes up with the kind of forehead showing, bright yellow eyes, like a knight's kind of mouthpiece. It's just so unique. Like, it's got so many different aspects of like different kind of what you would expect. Like, it's very almost random looking, where there's different pieces that you wouldn't think if you put them all together would work, but it works, and because it's done well and it's designed well, and there was a lot of time obviously put into the thought and design behind this. To be fair, they'd sometimes use the remote while standing at the mecha's shoulders, so it could still look raw. That's cool. That's pretty badass. Did I see no humans in this whatsoever? Am I crazy? Oh, literally right at the end. Yeah, Mazinger also stands as a shining example of the super robot style of mecha. Obviously, like a super robot, I think like Power Rangers, I guess. What was it? The Doraemon? What was the name of that anime opening I checked out that was very super robot as well, where it had all these different components that split off into their own things that came together to be a super robot? Oh, Danazanon. Yeah, that would be another example. Sorry, I was butchering the name of that. Everything just looks so unique and so fun. And obviously, like for me, like old school cartoons that I would know from this kind of era would be like Flintstones and stuff like that. And this looks like, well, Jetsons would be a better example, but like, you know, the way that the colors are done, the kind of like the drawing style and the animation style, the thick black lines, and then like just the way it's so done looks very much that style. Even like for Western animation, like it looks fairly like this, I would say, for like this era of animation. I think it's sick. I think it's so cool that you know, we're checking out more anime that I've never seen before, like in these openings that have this kind of animation style. Mazinger Z, I loved the opening. I loved that it was another theme song. Obviously it's very influential, and oh shit, okay, that's where he sits. Okay, he's in the head of the mecha. It's not like it's not here, it's up here, like the forehead, which is like not exactly what we see nowadays. Like nowadays, I feel like we see a lot of here or here in the robot, you know, where they're either looking through the eyes of the robot essentially, or they're kind of in the chest. Literally the brains. Absolutely. I love that these have all been theme songs so far, and I think that they're very fun. And obviously, they're all 1970s. They're all highly influential, and they're all theme songs so far. So I wonder if opening number 5 will also be the same. This will be the second to last video opening for this video. I will obviously be recording more if you're watching on stream, and I will be posting the second video, which will be openings 7 through 15 soon. But you know, this will be the second to last video opening for this video, so if you're enjoying, please leave a like, subscribe, comment if you haven't. Letting me know what you're hoping to see next, considering we've kind of narrowed down that this is probably 70s anime that are so far all very influential, and also so far a theme song. All right, let's go. Opening number 5, Cutie Honey. Girl with the stylish clothes. Oh? Love the character designs here. Oh shit, she looked evil. Please don't hurt me. Oh no, I don't like that. And she's okay. Okay. Oh no, they blew her up. Is she like a superhero kind of a character? She's throwing out hearts. A heart boomerang, which is also her like wrist or armband. Girl with a perky bust. Turn this way, honey. Oh shit, that was evil looking. Not even on her wedding day can she get any peace. Please don't come any closer. Caused my nose to twitch. And does she come out as Cutie honey? Oh shit. Oh, she turned into literal honey? Oh. I'm changing. Is this Twitch safe? Is this breaking TTS? This is Cutie Honey, animated in 1973 by Toei Animation and created by the dastardly Go Nagai. This guy is back at it again, damn it! Once again, alongside a manga version that ran on Weekly Shonen Champion. Did Go Nagai have like all of these manga running like side by side, or was it like 1971 or 72? I can't remember. He finished Devilman. He then moved on to Mazinger, and then he moved on to Cutie Honey. Like, was he doing them like every year he was doing a new manga, or was he just like pumping out 3 at once? Like, that's bonkers. Weekly 3 every week. Holy shit. Trendy Catholic school cutting Honey Kisaragi arrives home one day to find her father murdered at the hands of the evil organization Panther Claw. With his final message, he reveals that Honey is in fact an android, and she discovers she possesses the ability to transform into just about any disguise she can think of, be it a pop idol, race car driver, or even her true form as the warrior of love, Cutie Honey. Honey vows to take down Panther Claw, headed by the sinister Sister Jill, all the while escaping the ire of her suspicious headmistress, Miss Histler. Or is it Histler? That's one letter away from being awful. The song is Cutie Honey by Youko Maekawa. So yet another 70s anime with a theme song for the character that it's depicting. The visuals themselves definitely lended towards a more adult tone, where, you know, we had characters kind of, you know, obvious overtly sexual themes present during this opening, be it a guy literally groping a woman, or general design with a very like a cleavage window. You know, it was very, very kind of overtly sexual compared to like any other opening we've checked out so far. I wonder if this was kind of, you know, inspiring that kind of design for female superheroes that would come on down the line in years to follow. Looking at you, Momo from My Hero Academia. This would be a big influence on the ecchi or erotic genre. Okay. Well, I'm obviously not someone who's familiar with that kind of genre or that theme in terms of anime or manga or that kind of theme in general. It's not something that I'm particularly very familiar with. I haven't really checked out anything like that whatsoever. I could definitely see how that, you know, this series is probably an inspiration. Right off the bat, we see she's in, it looks like swimwear. I can't tell who this character is supposed to be. Is this supposed to be the, what is it, Sister Jill or whatever her name is? Someone's trying to like shoot her at every turn. I don't know why. She's just a girl. It's really fun that, you know, her whole gimmick is changing her appearance. And I think that's pretty fun. This is not the where I want to pause it. Cutie Honey was initially envisioned by Nagai as a more traditional magical girl series, with the manga set to debut in a shoujo magazine. Initially envisioned, but then what did it go on to become? Then that got thrown out the window with when Cutie Honey's intended time slot was instead given to other Magical Girl series, and it was instead shifted to a more shonen programming block, which it coincidentally previously hosted Devilman. The change prompted Nagai to shift the intended demographic from shoujo to shonen, bringing with it a raunchier tone that was not initially planned. This opening itself did not give any indication that this was going to be Magic Girl, like traditional Magic Girl series. It very much presents itself as like, yeah, we're gonna present this one's for the guys out there, you know, that want to watch girls in barely any clothing do cool things. Like that's the obvious theme throughout this entire opening. I do think it was a great opening though. I love the song. I love that yet again it's another theme song for the character themselves. The design for her is so fun. Like let me see, you know, I do really think that this design of character is just something that you never see anymore. This is a Magical Girl show, patently just the rare shonen aimed one. Oh, okay, the color in this is yet again sick. Like I love this kind of the way it's drawn and colored in. It's almost like this one looks almost markerish, where it's got these very fine line kind of outlines and like kind of shapes, but then you know the design and the color that is used for the actual objects or for the actual characters or whatever it's showing us is it's very well done, and it stands out so much. And if you were to show me this image, I guess by itself, I wouldn't have guessed that this was a 1973 was it anime. Kind of bonkers that this is as old as it is, because it really didn't have that kind of appearance throughout the entire opening. I don't really know if this is a serious show or if it's kind of like yet again another like big bad of the week sort of show where Cutie Honey is going to take down the big bad. I'd imagine it's probably that, but with, you know, like an overarching like theme throughout, like where you know the bad guy and you know what they're trying to do, and you know that they're gonna, you know, always show up and, you know, do their thing, and you know it's up to Cutie Honey to take them down. I did really enjoy this one. I'm not a fan of the horny stuff, but you know I can forgive it. I'm currently like watching Dan and I've been reading it for a while and I'm enjoying it, and there's some stuff in that you know I'd be hypocritical if I was to like talk about stuff like that in other series and not, you know, be aware or considerate of what's happening in Dan. Having like seeing that Go Nagai, the king and goat that he is, having like seeing his range, absolutely insane. Like within a 3-year span, he was producing weekly Devilman series. He was producing Mazinger Mecha series. He was producing a Magical Girl series. Like, is there anything this man can't do? Is the next one going to be like are we going to see a romance or slice of life series from Go Nagai in the next opening? Like, that's all I can think, honestly, because everything else has just been absolutely insane. I think we're ready to check out opening number 6, which might be the final one for today. If you guys are enjoying, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you want to see next, and I am going to just jump straight into number 6. That's looks familiar, that design. Don't know how though. Oh shit. Jumping over the net. Aim for the ace. Aim for it. Yeah, these character designs do look different compared to anything else that we've seen in the rest of these openings. It looks much more stylized, I guess. Oh, that like sparkle in the eyes was cool. Oh shit, she missed. This looks very well detailed. Do your best. Is this Dezaki? Is that the name? Aim for the ace. Hell yeah. That was very fun. We regret to inform we have left the Nagai zone. This is aim for the ace. It was Dizaki. I was right. I recognize those character designs and that kind of like look. And this is Aim for the Ace, animated 1973. Holy shit. This looks like it might have came like much later in the 70s, honestly. By Tokyo Movie, who did Lupin, with assistance from Studio Madhouse. Nothing yet since this is their debut work. Holy shit. Directed by Dizaki and based on the manga by Sumika Yamamoto, which ran in the shoujo magazine Margaret. They just named their magazine Margaret. That's really funny. I recognized the Dizaki design immediately. It kind of I haven't seen it, but it reminds me of the designs and the look. Like especially the blonde girl, her hair, this character's face right here. What is it, Rose of Versailles? Kind of looks similar in character design and look to that. Again, I haven't seen Rose of Versailles, so I don't actually know for sure like anything about it. Or it is Dizaki though, right? Like I think it is a Dizaki work. And also it looks like the Space Cobra opening, like the kind of designs that I think Dizaki also did that I checked out in the last retro video. Hiromi Oka is inspired by her school's ace tennis player Rika Madame Butterfly Ryuzaki to take up the sport. The tough new coach Jin Munikata puts the program to work, shocking many when he decides to pair Rika with the inexperienced rookie Hiromi for doubles competition. Hiromi must overcome the fierce pressure of her envious peers and the mysterious expectations of her coach to become an ace tennis player that can stand beside Rika. Perhaps someday even surpassing her. I'm guessing Rika was the blonde girl. She looks like she'd be the ace player. She looks like she's a professional and she can hold her own on the court. The song is once again titled "Aim for the Ace" by Kumiko Ohsugi. This is probably, for the openings that we've checked out today, the most stylish. The color is so immaculate. I love that for a lot of this opening, while they're playing tennis, they're just like shadows. Like they've got like this purple filter thrown over them, and it's very stylish, and it's kind of giving off the effect that they're unlike or other people when it comes to like playing tennis. Like you can't be like them. Like you're just a normal person. They're like shadows on the court. And then the first character we see looking like a normal character is who I assume is our main character, who decides to pick up tennis. And she's obviously struggles, but she becomes I assume by the end of the series she becomes good enough to stand side by side by Riko. By peer pressure you mean like hard bullying. Shit, classic shoujo bullies are like the most brutal characters out there, really. I'm not familiar with shoujo in general, when especially not classic shoujo, but yeah, that's awful. Like I guess that makes the frame of her sitting by herself make more sense. I love this little dog design too. This little dog looks so cute and so adorable. And I love that the bell that it has on its collar is like half the size of it. It's so cute and adorable. Shonen villains look like wussies next to them. Shit. Maybe shoujo villains are the maybe they're too much for me. Maybe I wouldn't be able to check them out. They'd be a little too harsh. But yeah, I do genuinely love the designs in this opening. Like this frame right here is so cool. Like I do love the attention to detail that clearly went into this opening. I mentioned earlier during the Ashita no Joe opening that when it zooms in on his eyes, it's like an entry into his soul and himself. Like we're kind of getting an insight into like him, because right after that we see the rest of the opening. But like eyes in this shot, like eyes in this anime, look like there's so much time and detail and attention put into them. Like we see like so many like different colors in the eyes themselves, like the shading, the shine in the eyes, everything is just like perfect. I do really think that this is so unique and so well done and so cool. Like I do really love it. Aishin shoujo are huge, and Dizaki picked that up for a lot of his works. That makes sense. Obviously, like the eyes here for this character specifically don't look like overtly massive, but They are like maybe larger than usual, and there's a lot of detail put into them. Coloring here as well, like, you know, skin tone being like, you know, this flat like olivey tan color. I think it's looks really cool against like the dark brown hair. Like everything stands out here. Like everything in this frame stands out. The shading and the shadows in the nose, the little wrinkles around her eyes, like it's just it's beautiful. It's perfect, and I do genuinely love how this whole opening looks, and I'm rooting for her. I want her to become like someone who can stand beside Riko and even surpass her. Like I think that this is so cool, and I genuinely do love this, and I think that it's cool that we started this video and ended this video with sports. You know, sports that were you know, directed by Dezaki. I think that that's a cool little touch. The song itself, let me hear it again a little bit. Yeah, like the song is just so fun. Like it gets you, like it's inspiring. It's hits those like kind of highs that, like, her voice is beautiful and she hits those notes with so much passion that we can't help but be inspired, and we can't help but, you know, want to see our main character go on and do great things. And then, you know, having the little silly moment with the serve, smash, volley. It's reminding me of the Captain Tsubasa opening as well, which, you know, obviously the Tsubasa opening came much later, but it's just fun, and it's cute, and I do really like it. But yeah, I think that maybe this will do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please consider leaving a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun, and I will hopefully see you in part 2 of this video, where we will be tackling more like this. So stay tuned and have a great day. Take care.